Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Edward here, back with another weekly outlook. This is a series where we review the pairs that we're interested in for the upcoming week. And if you happen to have any questions on the bias, on how to spot the bias, how do we do this, just make sure to leave your comments below, or just go ahead and join my free Telegram. The link is in the description below. And let's go ahead and start. This is going to be very interesting because last week we had a lot of fundamentals involved, especially with this tariff stuff, from the United States. Donald Trump applying a lot of tariffs to Canada, Mexico, and a lot of countries, China, even Colombia. It's insane right now. So this upcoming week, it's going to be hectic. We do have Jerome Powell speaking on Tuesday. Monday we have no news, but on Tuesday we have Jerome Powell, and then we have CPI. Okay, especially this 2 days right here, it's going to be insane. Of course, I'll be waiting for CPI report to come out first on Wednesday. We know that whenever Jerome Powell starts speaking, markets get very, very choppy, very indecisive. So these 2 days are definitely going to be difficult to trade, to scalp it, But then Thursday, Friday, probably they are going to be tradable days. But at the moment, these two are going to be crazy. And on Monday, we have to see, all right? Let's go ahead and how we close, all right? Starting on the dollar index, sort of to have an idea where markets are going to go. I was checking currency pairs, and my God, almost all currency pairs right now are looking bearish, are starting to look bearish. So let's see how we're going to start the week. So starting right here, I'm on the weekly time frame, understanding how we closed last week on the dollar index. At first, we were looking actually quite bullish right here. I love this push, this recent impulse, then corrected into this bullish fair value gap, and it was actually looking bullish. It was definitely looking bullish last week after we swept, right? Expecting price to continue displacing higher, eventually probably towards this high. But notice what happened, right? With especially, I would say, with fundamentals this last week. This is how we did. So we are failing right now. We created this high. We are failing to create a new high. We did not sweep this high. There's a failure right there. And look at the candle, right? So this candle right there, using candle signs, understanding how we close, we failed to displace above this previous high. Look at the size of that rejection, that wick right there. Price is retracing back down and it closed bearish. So I'm kind of expecting price to deliver towards this lows and probably, who knows, maybe that low right there. So by going in lower time frame, we understand the recent manipulation to the upside, a strong rejection. So we did have buy side. You notice there is a daily right here. There's a daily fair value gap right here that we can pay attention to. We're currently in there. So let's go lower time frame, 4 hour. And then this, remember, this is the weekly. This is the weekly low. This is my expectation. Based on how we closed last week, I'm expecting this weekly low to be taken. And from this daily fair value gap, I kind of want to see, even on the 4 hour, I like that fair value gap right there. We just manipulated this size. So I'm expecting probably price to reverse, to show a shift in the structure right here to the downside. So this could be a good bias here for this week. I do believe we're strongly bearish. So paying attention on the dollar index. And remember, if the dollar index drops, depending how it's going to look, if the dollar index drops, it of course is going to affect currency pairs related to it. So we're going to be checking some currency pairs now, but we're going to leave this one here. This is my expectation for the dollar index for this week. Bearish. Let's see if we can target that weekly low. All right. I'm gonna jump into Nasdaq again, going from higher time frame. This has been insane right here. Let's go ahead and pretty much show you right here what happened on Friday with this big drop. I was able to actually catch a buy. I was targeting highs, but then we failed big time after taking this weekly high. So I took that trade with the VIP group. So I'm gonna try to clean everything up and start pretty much from scratch right here. I want to clean all of this. Let's go on the weekly. This is how we're looking. I mean, it's crazy right now. Look at it on the monthly. Okay, of course this month is it's running. We are apparently still respecting this bullish fair value gap on the monthly time frame. This is how we close on January. February is looking this way already. But notice when I go to the weekly, right here, what happened. This previous week, it was insane. This was the week of the 27th, January 27th. This was the last week of January. This is the first week of February. So what happened on the last week of January? We swept that low. We had a big failure, right? We did not close below this previous low. So that's telling me that for the next week we were expecting price to take this high. So notice that the price in fact did take the high. But notice the discrepancy here, that is the huge gap, right? This is what been happening. And by the time I'm recording this video, it's actually Saturday. Right now I'm recording this on a Saturday. It's not Sunday. So I want to see how we're going to open. All right. Notice what's been happening here the past 2 weeks. This week right here, this is how the markets close on Friday and open on Sunday. We open with a big gap right there. Open up with a big gap, right? Then look at this week. The next week after that, after this huge crash on a Sunday, price corrected all week and then close on Friday right there and open on Sunday again. So markets are, for the past 2 weeks, has been crashing incredibly, especially during the weekends. So probably fundamentals, things that the president says about the tariffs and maybe some other things. So this is how we closed today. Yesterday, right? Friday. So I want to see how we're going to open, how this weekend is going to be affecting, right? If we're going to open up with a huge gap again to the downside, right? Or we're going to stay right there, okay? We have to wait for that. See on Sunday what type of gap we're going to have. But because right now, the past 2 weeks, we've been having huge bearish gaps. So coincidentally, right before market closed, we had a big dump, like a big drop right there on indices. So what do I think? If I go back on the weekly, the candle is still bullish, but we failed to take this high. So I'm not gonna lie, my bias on Nasdaq is not that clear on the weekly. However, on the daily, because we had a failure right there. We swept liquidity from this high. We failed to close above this high. We closed bearish. We did close below right there, right? So I'm technically expecting price to displace lower. So where can that go, right? This is the daily low. I'm sure that once the markets open on Sunday, I'm sure we're going to be taking this low, right? We're probably going to be displacing lower. How deep this thing is going to go, I don't know. We're probably going to drop on maybe, from Sunday to Monday morning. Then we'll see where price is going to be located in New York time, New York session on Monday. All right, to see what we're going to do. Because it's difficult right now for indices, it's difficult to say where that thing is going to go. S&P 500, again, it's also failing. We're having failures to create highs, right? This is the last high. And then we failed, right, to create a new high, and actually we create a new low. So we're failing again to create a high, right there, and we're displacing strong to the downside. This is telling me that we're probably going to continue bearish, right? Probably on S&P, it's telling me we're probably going to continue bearish right here. Let me call in some of this stuff. Oh, Jesus, hold on. If we go on the weekly, yeah, look at this weird thing, formations, these weird candles because of all these recent gaps. It's insane with all these freaking gaps. Look at these weird candles. That's all because of the gaps. You know, we did recently respected this, but like within this range, it is insane, crazy, crazy, crazy. So we have to pay attention to this week, especially Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday probably is going to be choppy as hell. We might actually be very choppy on Monday. So let's see. I'm going to check quickly gold. So forgot to mention, well, in overall, my bias on indices is not clear, right? It's not clear. I would have to wait for Monday morning, right, to see how Asian session and London session behaved, so I can probably go with a scalping strategy at that moment, you know, during New York session, see what I can do. So looking strongly, like gold is the one that is it doesn't care about anything else. Gold is just economy could be dying, but right now a lot of people in the world are literally buying gold right now. That's all they're doing. Rich people, even governments are just buying gold. So weekly looking extremely bullish. On the daily, it's looking like we could have a little reversal, right? Right there. Notice that week was actually strongly bullish, but retraced back down after we swept that high. So that weak rejection right there is telling me that we could displace lower. So that's how it's looking right there. Yeah. After price swept that high, immediately retraced back down. So I want to see, anyways, what's going to happen in here in this fair value gap. See if we're going to respect it here, then probably come back down to this level, to tap this level one more time, right? But this formation was really nice going from here, respecting this daily fair value gap up to take this high. So again, I would probably be waiting for New York session on Monday to see where it's going to be positioned. But I think the way it closed, I think we're going probably for this relative equal lows right there. I think we're going to be taking those lows, uh, maybe during London session or Asian session. We're going to go for those lows, right? That's how it's looking. But on the weekly, again, we're still strongly bullish. Even silver still looking also bullish, probably aiming for highs, record highs. Yep. Notice how we respected this imbalance right there. So intentions are still bullish on silver as well. So let's go ahead and now take a look at the currency pairs that I want to watch. Some of this I've been watching last week. I was incredibly bullish, my bias, on most of them, but they shifted. They shifted around. Like, look at this one. GBP NZD, I was seriously bullish, right, in this one. And because of all these fundamentals and the tariffs, remember that the tariffs in the United States is not affecting just Americans, but other countries. They're selling their stuff into the United States. So of course, all economies in the world are going to be affected. So this past week, I mean, this is the last week of January, right? Then we have the first week of February. So this candle right there was telling me that we were going to be taking this highs because of how bullish we closed. We displaced above previous high. Nice respect on this fair value gap after taking external liquidity back down to internal liquidity, expecting price to displace higher, right, to those highs. However, again, this week, insane. What is that week telling me? Well, if you notice, price took both. Price, this candle swept the high and also swept the low, and the body stayed in the middle. right? So from here, I mean, because of the bigger size, where was the biggest rejection? Right here. This is the biggest week, right? We did respect, we did reject also this low. It closed above, but the bigger week, bigger rejection is happening right above here. And if you look at it, we also have a fair value gap that we're kind of respecting as well, bearish fair value gap. So with that being said, I believe right now I'm expecting price to displace lower this week. At least the beginning of the week, I'm expecting price on GBP and CD to go lower to this weekly low. I want to see. I want to see what's going to happen. We're technically now when I go on a lower time frame on the daily, we're respecting this one and even this gap right here. So I want to see what's going to happen because on the weekly, strongly bearish. This is a big rejection. It's a big rejection. So I cannot disregard that. Let's see if it's just a pullback, just a manipulation, right, from this recent huge impulse. Let's see if it's just that, right? Because we are currently in discount. We're also on a daily fair value gap. So I want to see what sort of reaction we're going to have here. If you ask me in the long term, I want this thing to go bullish. But this pullback happened because of fundamentals, because of the news. Okay? So let's see how the news are going to affect this week this particular pair. So I'm gonna be more bearish until this low gets taken, and then probably from here I can switch back up to bullish. But it's a pair I really want to watch. The same with this one, GBP AUD. Look at this. Look at this. I was incredibly bullish, definitely expecting this highs to be taken, but then this week, boom, huge candle to the downside, huge rejection, right? So I'm expecting price to displace towards this weekly low. But look at on the daily, right? We're standing. I'm going to include also that volume imbalance right there. So we're standing in here. I want to see if this week, probably at the beginning, we're going to be sweeping this low, this weekly low, and then we form something here. We have a change in the state of delivery. Let's see if we can go up. Okay. But again, fundamentals. Fundamentals right now are affecting a lot the currency. So everything in the planet. So I'm a bit more bearish, and I want to see from there. I'll see what sort of reaction we're going to have there. USD CHF. Look at this. I was also looking at this a lot, strongly bullish, but we fail to close above the high and close bearish. Look at the size. That's a pin bar right there. We notice the drop and then the correction back up. This is weird right now. I would really struggle here to find a good bias with this one, to be honest, because how strong it came, like it dropped really strong, but then it came back up also very strong. I would not be playing with this one. Be setting alerts anyways to see what's going to happen, but to be honest, I don't like, not a fan of this one, not liking the structure. This one, I was a bit more bullish also this week, but now having this rejection, we did close below this low. We're still expecting probably price to continue displacing lower. Yeah, I mean, this recent failure right there, I think we're gonna continue lower. So I'm not that bullish on Euro USD. It still looks kind of weak. AUD USD, this one right here in particular, sorry, this one right here in particular, you see that we manipulated this monthly low and we went back up very strong. So I think this one is the one that is looking a bit more bullish right here. Definitely that week. You see, we swept that monthly low. Now we're going for the monthly highs. It's looking strongly bullish. Interesting right there. Probably here on a 4-hour time frame. Yeah, after manipulating these lows, price pushes up. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting these highs to be taken. So we're currently in a little range. Like this little range right here. Let's see how market is going to be reacting. And Who knows? Maybe probably something like this. I'd like to see something like this sweep and then boom, expansion to the upside. So this is actually a pair that I would like to see it push up. Odd USD, probably bullish. Odd cat. Let's take a look at odd cat on the weekly. This is looking. This is definitely looking bearish. Strongly bearish on this one. I like the manipulation, like the recent manipulation of this previous highs right here. Even this one right there, right? So notice the weekly candle. Price pushed up, immediately retraced back down. Look at the drop in the rejection after markets taking this highs, right? Price took this highs. We closed bearish. We closed below. Notice the body of the candle closing below this low. So we're expecting price to expand towards those lows. So that weekly low is definitely a target for this week in this pair. So let's see what price is sort of going already there. I think this is probably going to be hit during maybe Monday or Sunday. Let's go lower time frame. So now that we determined, you see, our bias on the weekly time frame, it's our job to find a setup, right? To fulfill these this movement. Because I'm looking bearish. The structure right here, you see that now we swept, manipulated, takes a low, break of the structure to the downside, price pulling back, right? Now we break a structure again. We are manipulating this highs. Notice that right here there's a change in the state. Let's go lower time frame. Notice that we're taking that high. Is this week? What time? This is 8 a.m. in the morning. This was on Friday. So I think this was the NFP. That was the NFP at AM. Yep, that was the NFP. So notice that we do have a change in the state, right? Change in the state of delivery, right there. Price pull back, tap the block, and then dropping. So the movement started already. If you wanted to place right here an entry, entering right there, stop loss above here or above the breaker. This is the breaker. In theory, is this whole move, including the weeks, right? Sometimes I refine it to just the bodies. But one thing I know for sure is that if I'm going to use the breaker block to place my stop, I'm not going to put it just above the body. No, I'll put it above the week, this week right there, to go a little safer. So this is the breaker, right? Targeting where? That low. So you see that we are already, we took off already. Maybe we're going to be hitting this target overnight once the session opens. So there is a fair value gap right here, a bearish fair value gap that we might actually respect. Let's see what's going to happen there. And maybe it's going to give a chance. It's going to give you a chance to enter here to this low. But one thing for sure is that I like the structure. I like the current structure, and this is definitely the draw on liquidity. And who knows? Probably we would even go to this low. Like if you look here, this is the relative equal low. This is double bottom, huge. It's a big ass double bottom. Right? So it seems right there, you see on the weekly how that candle close. I'm definitely expecting price to displace lower. So I'm incredibly bearish. I think this is my favorite one to watch. I'm going to put it at the top because it's very convincing right here. The structure for that one to go bearish. Odd USD. To be honest, this one actually looks more bullish. I love the fact that we manipulated these lows and the candle retraced all the way back up, and it's a bullish candle. So this one, I would put it bullish, right? I want to, it's okay. I'm going to leave the same tags. So this is bearish. You know what? I'll probably change the color for bearish. Let's put it red for bearish and green for bullish right there to identify that I want to buy this one, I want to sell this one. And let's look at back again at GBP NZD. No, I don't want to say it's my favorite, but I'll be definitely placing alerts on this one, to be honest. In there, GBP AUD, I don't know. I see a failure in there. I don't like that one. I don't like this one either. Not a fan. Euro USD, I think it's weak. You know, from here from the daily, you know what I'm seeing? I'm gonna clean this stuff, and I even gonna hide this fair value gap right here, because what I'm seeing here that it looks like it's playing out already is this price manipulated this high, changing the state. This is what I'm seeing now here. So changing the state of delivery, and I'm seeing price trying to displace lower. So I have a big change in the state of delivery right here. High, low, high, right there, boom, respecting, and now we're closing bearish. So the daily candle is telling me that I'm bearish. I'm strongly bearish right there. And that shift in the structure is telling me that we're probably going to displace lower. So I was bullish, but now this is looking like we're still bearish. And I'm trying to identify the whole swing move. Low, high, low, high. We're probably going to take this low. So these are external. So low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But this lower high is confirmed once this low gets taken. So we're in the middle right now. But we have induced, we have manipulated, so that's good. We have liquidity taken. So this is why I'm thinking that we're actually bearish. So I want to put this as the third favorite one, probably for bearish. I'm going to put it red. I think Euro USD bearish. USD CHF, what did I say about this one? No, I don't like it. So you know what? I'm going to uncheck that one. GBP AUD, I don't know. I'm going to uncheck that one. GBP NCD, I'll keep that one in there in the looks. Pretty much everything. Let's go on the weekly. On the rest of this pair, so you see Euro JPY, look at that melt right there. GBP USD, look at that pin bar, is indecision, right? But we're respecting that weekly bullish fair value gap. But on the daily, you see now my favorite one right now to watch. Probably we're gonna be maybe taking or going for those highs, but not my favorite one to be watching. This one looks like it's gonna reverse. Look at this. Price just swept a double top recently. Not recent. Look at this highs. When was this? From 2020. From 2016. What the heck? You know, we just manipulated those old highs, and the algorithm is trying to bring market down right there. So on the weekly, we have a strong bearish candle after taking those old record highs, you know, because we did break and create a record highs, I think. Yep. So maybe it's going to go bearish a little bit from here. Maybe we could use this imbalance right here to target that. Let's see if we go on a daily. Yeah, I'll be watching this one, but nothing too crazy out of this world. Probably more long term. Yeah, I'll be waiting for this. Weekly, strongly. Look at that. EuroCAD strongly bearish. EuroAUD also strongly bearish. Probably is going to displace lower. NCDCHF This one had a big failure to the downside, big retracement back up. So probably that weekly candle is telling me we're going to displace higher. We want to try to look for this highs. Daily, and we could say that probably we're sweeping all of these lows. We see on the daily time frame. See, daily time frame bullish. We're expecting this highs to be taken. We did close above this previous high. When we go to the 4 hour, 4 hour is already respecting a bullish fair value gap right here. 15-minute. See, so I'm expecting this 4 hour to continue being respected. Right there. And I want to see that daily high. Remember, this is the daily high. So I'm expecting price to target those highs. And probably, who knows, eventually, because on the weekly, it's telling me that we respected something here big time. Probably this inversion, So we're headed for this double top. See that nice, beautiful double top? It's a magnet. So we'll probably, you know what? I'll put this one as bullish, and I'll put it probably here. I want to see that one, strongly bullish. GBP JPY bearish, GBP CHF. Don't like the candle. Not my favorite candle. Euro CHF, not my favorite one. JPY, yeah, continue bearish, strongly bearish. This one manipulated NCD USD. We swept these lows. There was a gap. There's a big drop right there. I think this is the drop that happened on, this is the drop from Friday, Sunday. It also affected right there. So it looks like it's trying to go to this high, but I don't like the fact that it looks like we're having an expansion right there. I don't like that pattern. That's why I'm going to ignore it. This is incredibly bearish. Euro GBP, I don't like that. It's probably going to go bearish on this one, Euro NCD. This is also incredibly bearish, and I think that's it. That is basically it. So I showed you what the favorite ones right now I have that I'll be watching. Of course, I'll be very careful. I mainly trade indices, Nasdaq, S&P 500, and gold from time to time, so I'll be keeping an eye. When it comes to Bitcoin, right here to pretty much finish this weekly outlook, and of course, 1 day and 9 hours left for this candle to close. It's looking bearish. It is definitely looking bearish, depending on how this candle is going to close, right? In a day and 9 hours. If we do close this placing below this low, we're probably going to target these lows. Probably going to see price going below 89, 88. I'll mark up this fair value gap right here. Again, all right. Now, if we do retrace up and close above this low, the price closes above this low, then we're probably having a shift, and we might see markets go bullish next week, probably to go for some of these highs. But right now it's kind of weak, right? By the way, I did share this idea. This is why I'm saying go ahead and follow me on my free Telegram. The link is in the description. Look at this. I shared this idea. This is the free group. I shared this idea on February 6th, right? This was on February 6th. This was an idea. I'm not sending signal. I'm not trying to convince anybody to go ahead and take any entries right here. So I sent this idea. I saw a nice double bottom being taken, nice shift in the structure. And if it was me buying right there, I'll be buying from there, placing the stop loss below this low, targeting this relative equal highs. I sent that, right? Now, on the 7th, on the next day, prices matched TP. So again, these are ideas. These are free ideas for my students or future students, okay, or people that is interested in learning what I do, okay. I'm a teacher. I'm a mentor. I don't sell signals. I do have a mentorship program, which is a lifetime mentorship program. If you're interested, you can just check my website, teamprofitsenglish.com, and you will see what my program is. Everything that includes, I trade mainly ICT and SMC concepts. I trade live with my students every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Um, New York session, so you can see me trade live. Okay, you can see what I think. Okay, what is the thought process behind, right? Not just sending a signal and just telling you go ahead and buy there, sell there. No, right? I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to explain what I do so you can replicate in the future, right? I think that's the best thing, guys. You guys can do. Try to avoid getting signals or anything like that because you won't learn. You won't learn from signals. So I hope it makes sense. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here one more time. If this is the first time watching this video, make sure to subscribe because I do this weekly, okay? And it does help you understand what sort of bias we're going to have for this week or the coming week for certain pairs, okay? So hope it makes sense. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.